Tyler back with the CorpusFishing.com Weekend Outlook. This is the Breakaway Tackle Shop. It used to be hard to get here. That is the extension of Rodfield Road, and over there is Yorktown. You just take a right, your first right with a sign, Siberian, and you come over here to Nick's Breakaway Tackle. There's Riri, and there's a parrot in here, so might get kind of loud. Hi, Nick. There he is. This is some of his wares. He's got an actual Alphas in there. There's some of the rigs that he goes to flip down.
How you doing, Tyler? Nick? Nice seeing you, mate. I was just checking out these Akumas. Look at the size of them.
Remember that general reel that guy had? Look,
yeah, ginormous.
I got big hands, but that's a big reel, dude. What is that, Akuma?
I'll tell you what it is. These land-based shark fishermen.
Yeah.
They're all starting to use these, and they're super.
That's
smooth.
80 wide equivalent. 80 wide.
Yeah, 80 wide.
And there's a 50, which
Correct.
is the one notch down.
Very popular. They're loading them with like 200-pound braid or something, and they're pulling. They can run this like 1,000 yards plus. And
oh yeah,
pulling in big sharks. Now, I was always against that.
Yeah.
But now they're doing all this tagging and
right. As long as they bring them in hot and fast, not just long dragged out.
That's the key. That's where reels like this pay off. They can get a big hammer in from 1,000 yards, no problem.
Give us a quick surf report. It's driving is horrible. You said it was
driving's
bad. You even
the worst I've seen. It's been like it now for a month. We have these continuous fronts coming through, low pressures, high pressures. The wind's been constantly up. Surf's been rough, like 7-8 footers.
Yeah.
Good separation sometimes. Sometimes it's clearing. Best bet seems to be the jetties, to be honest.
Right, and I heard a little bit of action around Mustang. It's not as bad. The driving is not as tight as it was.
Fish Pass,
right, yeah. I saw a few trout being caught. And
now, apparently the state park is still closed because of the high waters coming up. So if you're thinking of camping, don't try there. Some good spots would be on the north side of Packery. There's some wide beach there where you could get tight to the dune line if you do go in. But while these fronts are still coming through, keep an eye on high water and where you're going to pitch your tent.
Right. This morning we talked on the radio with Joey Fair, and he was saying that all that dredging they did down at Baffin, they just pitched it out in the main bay. And what happens is once the water gets to about 80, it climbs up and creates that brown tide. So we have a lot of brown tide to deal with. We still have high waters. We're going to have high waters. So if you're running around, he says, use those bright colors and something, even like one of these over here. This is our friend, the Bay Pig.
Look at the artwork on these is as good as it gets. This guy really has got a
Bay Pig, and that thing has the sharpest hooks on the planet. So you got to make some noise. So if you're going to go out there in that dirty water where it's a brown tide, find the clearest areas you can find, pop it in there, and make noise, and either use gulps underneath there or live shrimp or bright colors.
Right.
And they're still catching a lot of.
And this time of year,
trout.
these top waters are awesome in the surf.
Right.
Work in the shallows, it pays off.
Sometimes you throw those big lures like a Zaraskook in the surf, and it's like dropping a toilet out of a Cessna if you do it in the bay on a calm day.
I was doing a water report for Tony Amos a few years ago, and the water was dirty brown. And I said, this is a typical place you would find mullet. And I threw my cast net and pulled out 2 trout in the surf at the 20. And it was just a blocked gut, and there they were. This time of year, really productive on top waters when you get conditions.
Yeah, and right now we've got the bay. So, go inside the bay. You can do a lot of fishing in those lights, especially if you're in the canals and things like that.
Right.
You got a good current running through there. Use those, we used to use spec rigs or those DOA shrimp.
I was thinking the other day about how the spec rig colours have changed. It used to be red and white. That's all you needed, right? But it's like carp in England. They've treated them with these boilies made certain ways that now the fish are wanting like a menu before they take the hook.
Same thing when they have the stock trout. They're like, oh, I want the power bait that's made from the bait from the chow they get at the hatcheries. Like, okay, well, that works. So this report is brought to you by my many fine sponsors. Nick's been a buddy of mine forever. We kind of scratch each other's back on reports and whatnot. And, of course, we've got Roy's Bait and Tackle. They're having I think it's a Daiwa deal going on.
Yes.
That's going to be on the 31st through the 3rd. So check them out. Of course, they've got all kinds of sales on things.
Roy's Bait and Tackle is just like the biggest fishing show there is.
Right, and they have stuff that they can't mention because they'll get in trouble for mentioning the sale of certain, even if it's one of those.
Right, yeah.
They can't mention that. So check them out. Also, Frank at Wind and Wave, he's got stand-up boards. He's got all kinds of cool surf gear. He's a great guy, great sponsor. Same with the bait bucket, all the Gulkies over there. Mm-hmm. They do a great job. And, of course, we can't forget Fish Bites. Longtime sponsor, and Miralure.
And they sponsor me as well, and I'm really proud to have been with them since the beginning.
Right, Miralure, awesome. And of course, Mimi and Papa's over there now, where Laguna Reef was in the Bluff. They're having all kinds of entertainment. I think they're going to get a liquor license soon, but in the meantime, it's BYOB. They've got great food, got a great menu. Check those out. Again, thanks again. For more information, come check us out on corpusfishing.com.